What's going on, y'all? Antonio Freeman here, Technology Killed Child Support, Catch the Access Club. So I'm going to jump on here for a quick minute. I'm at the school, getting ready to pick my son up. And I kind of want to go over a couple of things real quick. So I'm not sure if a lot of you have saw the Jay Morrison or anyone, if you guys follow Jay Morrison. He's a really good, really cool dude, activist. Righteousness, also a big investor in real estate. But also, you may know that Jay Morrison and his crew went to a restaurant called Houston's in Atlanta, and they felt they were discriminated against. And because of this action, they basically shut Houston's down, and I believe in a couple of locations. But so, I want to start by saying this. Number one, I don't really support anyone trying to, have someone lose their job or position. A manager, whether that be a manager, owner, employee, traditional employee, for any type of issue. However, when I first heard this story, I said, okay, anybody that's discriminated against in any capacity, there should be some type of repercussion and some type of acknowledgement. And I said, well, it couldn't have been that bad. But I was wrong. When I saw this video that he posted, it was actually, while it was happening, my mind changed. My mind didn't change as far as, people losing their job, but it changed on the perspective of how bad I thought the video was. And in this particular case, everybody in that position should have been fired. Everybody had anything to do with that, with the organization, with the training, customer service, management, any managerial position across the board, including the corporation itself, if that's how they're going to run their business, should be fired. Many of you know I worked with a multi-billion-dollar company for 5 years in their marketing and promotions. And for a fact, I am huge on customer service. I feel personally one of the main reasons why the company I worked for did not have continued success beyond their expansion of their life term of the business term is because they had horrible customer service, and it wasn't a big secret. So when I saw this video, and I'm going to show it to you as well, and I want you to make your own judgment and opinion about it because it's important. And so you're going to say, well, what does this have to do with Technology Killed Child Support, my econ, cash assets? And I'll tell you this. If you do not take control of your own personal situation, you can be just as ignorant as some of these people you're going to see on in the video. And the reason why I say that part is because you have to be a well-rounded, rational thinking person. And to do some of these things, you have to study. You have to know yourself, and you have to know who you're dealing with. And when it comes to financial literacy, that's a whole area where people fail to take participation on how to better their own personal life, financial situation, and their surrounding areas. The racism and the disconnect with our mothers, other fathers, in the arena of child support plays a huge role in the attitudes and in the mentality that you're going to see. But that's my opinion. But I also know that it's true. But I also want you to take a look at it yourself. And then I'll come back.
I'm taking my woman out to eat and my two friends. So I'm not asking you to accommodate a party to these six. I'm asking my queen and my two friends to be. Do you accommodate parties of four?
We do. Okay.
So can us four please go eat?
You guys came in at 7 and I really don't have the time.
No, we did not. I came in by myself and I'm taking my queen and my two friends to eat.
Okay, and I understand that. And if you all come back and it's just 4 of you, that's fine. But it's not like I know that you're part of that.
So the conversation they're having is supposedly this company's policy. They are only able to, they don't seat parties in excess of 7 and more for whatever reason. But as you'll discover a little bit later in the video, that policy is incorrect. Is actually, they don't seat groups of people of 6 and more. So what they're saying, what Jay Morrison is saying is, they said, okay, that's fine. They want to separate, just make it 4 and 3, and they still don't get any progress. They don't make any progress. So I'm not going to play the whole thing, but you can always go to it and see. You see Jay Morrison denied service.
Great, and
So.
I'm going to ask you to step back. I'm going to ask you to show it to me on paper.
What is your problem? 4 people are asking.
So when I talk about really quick, when I said the mentality of certain people, some of these people, their prejudice and their judgment, even some with their own people, is blatantly available that you can see it. And that's sad. So it's the same type of attitude that we see when we deal with certain women with our kids. You can see the disgust and the contempt in people's faces, in some of these people's faces. And it's the same look you see when you're trying to deal with someone rationally, especially my fathers out there. When you're trying to deal with that woman and you trying to talk to them like they got some damn sense, but they want to respond to you in this passive aggressive ass bullshit, you get the same type of reaction from them that you see in this video.
I'm asking to be sat.
You're denying us seating.
So seat me, please. I'm asking to be sat. I'm asking to be treated like any other party.
But we've been doing that. We're being
That's
disrespectful.
not happening. I'm being disrespectful. You're yelling and putting your hands. Hey, I am. So show me on paperwork. Show me on paperwork. Where's that? I don't have to do that.
No.
Well, I don't have to not be sat as a party of 4. So show me on paperwork. Where's that? Show me on paper.
So they go back and forth with this for quite a while. As you can see, I think on the video, it's about 10 minutes. The conversation went a little bit before that, before Mr. Morrison started recording. But again, the reason why I think this is something important that everyone can see is because we're dealing with a lot of issues right now in this country, especially with our own people. And what really messed me up really was seeing the interaction with our own people, where I think there was one brother a little bit later in the video. I think he came in a little rational and he made a statement and he shook the spot. But I saw other people contesting this whole entire conversation as though they had all the legs to run on. And that's not even your establishment. That's something you work for. That's someone you work for. That's not who you are. So in a situation like this, what kind of kills me is if that's the type of reaction you're going to have under pressure, and you're going to treat your own people like that because of a policy that apparently is not even ethical, but you're going to stand by that like that's law and God, and you're going to deny. It's not even, that's somebody in some place you work for. You could not have enough compassion and not enough rationale in your own mind to know that that's wrong. So is that just who you are, or that's just what you've been taught? And unfortunately, when we dealing with parents, other parents outside of the household, and we trying to be rational, and we trying to just simply do the right thing. I'm talking about the people who want to do the right thing. It's very difficult to have those people show up. This man is trying to do the right thing, and you have everybody negatively showing up. No resolution from this company's point of view was put on the table. The only resolution they had was get out. We're not going to serve you, get out, kick rocks. That's the only resolution they had. Why is that the same resolution when you got somebody rational talking to you? All they want to do is solve the problem so everybody could be happy and go home. Why is that such a difficult thing to happen, especially with our own people? So I want you guys to think about that. You can watch the entire video at Jay Morrison on YouTube. Jay Morrison denied service at Houston restaurant. And let me know your thoughts. Follow me at Technology Kill Child Support on Instagram and on Facebook. It's terrible, man. It's terrible.